first day they came into the NFL in 1961, the Minnesota Vikings have had a deal with the Chicago Bears. Here they are in 2008, and the rivalry between the Vikings and the Bears is better than ever. The Bears, coming off a tough loss last week, have to show that they can bounce back because first place is on the line today at Soldier Field. It's the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings on the NFL on Fox. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen, along with the great defensive lineman Tim Bryan. This is old-fashioned rivalry football. Both teams are 3-3, but they're playing for first place. Brad Childress of Minnesota says this is going to be a fist fight. Lovie Smith of Chicago says this is a playoff-type game.
Sam, you're all over it. It is old-fashioned football, and both of these teams will feature good young running backs today. For Minnesota, Adrian Peterson will be carrying the rock. Bears fans remember him, 224 yards he cranked out last time he was here at Soldier Field. He's got 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games against Chicago. For Chicago, the rookie Matt Forte has been an outstanding addition. He's number 4 in the NFL in total yards from scrimmage. Now, running the ball is going to be a big challenge for both of these teams today. You look at Chicago, they have not given up a 100-yard rusher all season. Minnesota has only given up 2 in the last 38 games.
Injuries could be a big factor in the game. The Chicago Bears have injuries in their secondary. The Minnesota Vikings, injury at middle linebacker. We'll take a look at who's in and who's out as the Bears and Vikings get set to go in just a moment. Linebackers, the heart of the defense for the Chicago Bears. But the story for the Bears today is the secondary. Their starting cornerbacks, Charles Tillman and Nate Vasher, are out. Second-year men, Corey Graham and Trumaine McBride start. Danielle Manning, the nickelback, also out. Marcus Hamilton will see playing
Well,
time.
that's going to be a problem for Chicago. But you look at Minnesota, they could have their own issues at middle linebacker. E.J. Henderson, their starter's gone for the U. Vinny Churchill will start today. Dontarius Thomas just signed earlier in the week. Napoleon Harris signed a couple of days ago. They'll all be in the rotation today, Sam. It'll be interesting to see how they hold up.
Beautiful day here in Chicago. Temperature approaching 60 degrees. There is a little wind, and it might be a factor as the game goes on. The Bears won the coin toss, have elected to defer, and Maurice Hicks is deep for Minnesota to receive Robbie Gould's kickoff, and already the wind blowing the ball off the tee. The Bears, wearing their orange jerseys, are 2-1 wearing the orange jerseys at Soldier Field. Gold to kick off. Both teams 3-3, along with the Green Bay Packers, all tied for first in the NFC North. And here we go. Maurice Hicks from the 6. Nice moves by Hicks. Hard hit as he goes down at the 33-yard line, with Garrett Wolf making the hit on Hicks, a 27-yard return. And the veteran Gus Frerotte leads the Vikings out onto the field. He's 3-1 since taking over as the starter. Adrian Peterson, the great running back in his second year, leads the team in rushing, 3rd in the NFL. Bernard Berrien, the former Bear, is a key receiver. Sidney Rice coming back from a knee injury. Up front, that left side, McKinney, Hutchinson, and Burke, the center, big and strong for the Vikings. Adrian Peterson, little cutback, nice gain, out to the 49-yard line. How about that? 16 yards on first down.
Well, a really good block here by the right tackle. Watch Ryan Cook, but here's what you look at. There's no fullback in the football game. Watch Cook take Tommy Harris right by the play, and Brad Childress told us the other day, he said, you know, I'm starting to feel like Adrian Peterson is better without a lead blocker in front of him. I would expect a lot of that set today with no fullback on the field.
Chester Taylor is in. And Frerotte puts it up and completes it inside the 40 and down to the 37, Bernard Berrien, who played 4 years for the Chicago Bears, key wide receiver. The Bears defense, and they have to be strong up front. They're looking for a pass rush. In their last 2 losses, they have no sacks. Landon Briggs, Brian Urlacher, Hunter Hillmeyer. The key, we will watch the secondary with the corners. Corey Graham making his 4th start this year. McBride, his 1st start of the season. The end around, and it's Adrian Peterson inside the 30. down to the 29-yard line.
Anytime you watch it end around, and this time Peterson comes around from a different spot on the field as he's going to come back from over here. Let's watch this guy, Adewale Ogunleye, and see if he closes too hard. Yeah, he slips. What happens is he closes down inside, and once you slip a little bit, Peterson's got too much heat to turn the corner and get on the perimeter.
Nafahu Tahi in at fullback. Chester Taylor is the tailback. It's Taylor on the carry. He's wrapped up. Very close to the first down, little short. It'll be third and less than a yard.
Chester Taylor comes in and plays a lot on third down, and you talk about a change of pace back. And Chester Taylor's got good credentials in pro football. He was the bell cow before Adrian Peterson was drafted, but it's a totally different style. When you hear guys say, well, he's a change of pace back, to their starter, Adrian Peterson, that guy right there, there's no doubt that their running style is much different. He's much more of a patient runner.
Two tight ends in. Chester Taylor for the first down, close to the 25-yard line. Power straight ahead. And Taylor picks up the first. Adrian Peterson comes back on the field, and a good start to this game for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, and I think you referenced it in the open, talking about the injuries back in the secondary. What that tells me, and even in talking to Levy Smith the other day, it magnifies the need for that defensive line to play well. The lack of pass rush, the lack of big plays up front. This group up front have got to get it going today.
Bobby Wade, former Bear, is in and split out wide right. Two tight ends. Short drop by Frerotte, and he finds Bobby Wade down to the 10-yard line. He waited for Wade to come open. Frerotte went back with a short drop. Wade popped open, and he hit him 15 yards.
Well, there's deep coverage here, but this guy's the key. Watch Briggs get out to the flat, and what's going to happen, you saw right there, Gus wanted to throw it. Lance Briggs was right in the throwing lane and may have picked it off. Gus held on to it for a second, then able to hit Bobby Wade right behind him for the first down.
It's first and goal at the 10. Three wide receivers. Andre Allison is in. On the carry, Adrian Peterson down to the 6. He picks up 4 on the play. Last week, Peterson was guilty of a couple of fumbles, including one inside the 10-yard line against the Lions.
Yeah, he has put the ball on the ground too many times this year, no question. And really a big style, the type of style of runner he is, but he's got to carry it high and tight. They're working on that. He cannot fumble down in the money zone like you talked about.
Two tight ends in. Wade and Berry in the wideouts. Peterson, nothing there. Played well by Alex Brown, and Adrian Peterson never got started.
Alex Brown's just an all-around football player. Watch him here at right defensive end and what he does to the left tackle, and there's a huge size advantage right there for Bryant McKinney. And you saw how he recreated, and D linemen love to recreate the line of scrimmage behind the original line of scrimmage. He did it that time and got himself a real nice stop.
Chester Taylor in at running back. Third and goal from the 7. Vikings have had trouble scoring touchdowns in the red zone all season. Frerotte throws, and it's stopped short. Chester Taylor knocked down at the 1-yard line. And it looks like Brad Childress wants to go for it.
It looked like Peterson had an opportunity to pop in here, but watch how he is just stopped in a heartbeat as Mike Brown comes up. Chester Taylor, excuse me, as Mike Brown comes up and lays the wood down.
So Brad Childress on this drive that started from the Vikings 33 wants to go with it. 4th and 1. Three tight ends, a fullback, and Adrian Peterson. Peterson to the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown. He kept fighting for that last inch. Corey Graham had him wrapped up, and Peterson kept fighting for the last inch and made it to the goal line.
Well, you're right. Corey Graham is the guy who comes over right there, and it's just all leg drive. It's second effort by Adrian Peterson. You knew the play was going off tackle just by the formation, and you know Gus Frerotte, Sam, is not going to do anything out on the edge with his lack of mobility. Good job by Adrian Peterson just punching it in.
A great drive for the Vikings to start the game. The extra point by Ryan Longwell is good. 10 plays, 67 yards, capped off on a 1-yard run by Adrian Peterson. And in the game for first place, the Vikings draw first blood.
Well, you can see Brad Childress there, what his offense has done down in the red zone, leading the league in field goal attempts. That's never a good one. 8 offensive touchdowns, one of the last. A little squib kick.
Squib kick. It's picked up by McKee, the fullback, who brings it across the 45-yard line. So good field position for Kyle Orton and the Bears as they go on offense.
Welcome back, everybody, to Chicago. And why the squib kick? Because Devin Hester was back there. He's been the best return man in the NFL the past 2 seasons. He hasn't returned a kickoff or a punt for a touchdown yet this year. But Vikings, beware, because the last 2 times that Minnesota has come here, he has, and that's why they ended up with the great field position that they do. I talked to the Vikings staff, and they said they'd be well aware of that after that Monday night Reggie Bush return 2 touchdowns.
Thank you, Carissa. Carissa Thompson joining us today. Devin Hester taking the opening pass. Kyle Orton comes out throwing, and now they're using the no-huddle offense. Pickup of 9, 2 tight ends in, 2nd and 1. The toss to Matt Forte, and a first down for the Bears. Forte fights his way inside the 40-yard line down to the 39. So the Bears answer back quickly. Taking a look at their starting lineup, Kyle Orton has played very well the last 4 games. Matt Forte having an outstanding rookie season. Devin Hester and Rasheed Davis, the wideouts, with Brandon Lloyd inactive today, injured. The offensive line needs to do a good job on the big front of the Vikings. Orton checks off. Orton on first down gets time. And finally finds Rasheed Davis down to the 29. Good for another Bears first down.
Sam, I understand the squib kick, but the execution was horrible on it. You got to get that thing in the gap. Gives the Bears great field position. They've come out with the no huddle and put these guys right on their heels. Orton had all day to throw the football right there.
The Bears want to work that Vikings defense and wear them out, and that's what they're going with the no huddle. On first down, quick toss. It's tipped and grabbed by Greg Olsen. That was tipped as it came out of the hands of Kyle Orton, but Olsen stayed with it. Good concentration and made the catch.
No doubt, because Jared Allen coming off the line of scrimmage. There's going to be a lot of 3-step drop. You'll see Allen come at the right end. He'll get his hand up. Pow, right there. He deflects the football, and Olsen, keeping his eyes on it, comes down with the catch for the first down.
At the 18-yard line, the Bears on the move, and again Orton steps back. 2 tight ends in. Desmond Clark, who shifts back in the backfield, and Greg Olsen. Orton under pressure, throws, and completes. Touchdown, Greg Olsen. How about that for a response by the Bears? 54 yards in a hurry. That is the 9th touchdown pass thrown by Kyle Orton in the last 5 games, including this one. Great start for the Bears to come right back.
Well, Levy wanted a fast start to get this crowd juiced up, and being down 7-0 early, they are right back in this football game from an emotional standpoint. That football had some smoke on it.
Olsen's 2nd touchdown of the season. Robbie Gould for the extra point. Lions and Bears. The old-time rivalry is alive and well. Each team scoring on their first possession. Kyle Orton finds Greg Olsen. He threads it through with some juice on it.
Kyle Orton looking right down the seam and throwing it in between the safeties behind the middle linebacker to Greg Olsen. That was an absolute dart, and really the perfect throw against that cover 2 defense where you had 2 deep safeties and a middle linebacker trying to go deep. Perfect route, perfect execution.
The Vikings know when Greg Olsen's in the game, it's like another wide receiver on the field.
No doubt. I think he's a wide receiver, Sam, trapped in a tight end's body.
Robbie Gould to kick it off. Maurice Hicks deep for the Vikings. Hicks from the 7. Looking for room. Zach Bowman in his first NFL game. Just brought up from the practice squad. The 5th round draft pick out of Nebraska makes the tackle. Bears and Vikings tied at 7. And we hope you'll be tuning in. It should be great. On first down, Adrian Peterson gets back to the line of scrimmage. Bears have another injury. Hunter Hillenmeyer's got a thumb injury, and Jamar Williams has replaced him in the lineup.
Yeah, and he'll come in on regular downs. Now they're going to be even more stressed on nickel downs because Hunter Hillenmeyer is one of their nickel linebackers. He stays in a lot during passing downs, and we already know with the injuries at corner, it's going to be that much more difficult for Chicago having Hunter Hillenmeyer with an injury.
Berrien and Wade are the wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and Peterson goes in motion. Frerotte, that pass tipped again. Bears doing a good job up front. He wanted to go to Peterson, and Adewale Agunlia got his hands up and tipped that Frerotte pass.
And if there's one guy, I think, up front, you talk Tommy Harris, you talk Adewale Agunlia that need to step their game up. And this guy has got pelts on the wall in terms of sacks. And Lovie Smith told us he's got to get it cranked up. We need him to get to the quarterback.
Chester Taylor is in. It's 3rd and 10. Bears showing blitz. Brown is picked up. Frerotte throws too high for Bobby Wade. 3 and out for the Vikings. Bobby Wade, who played nearly 3 seasons for the Bears, goes off. And Devin Hester is on the field again. Boy, he sees a lot of action now that he plays regularly on offense.
Look at this. That is not
That's
good.
Down.
But I'll tell you what, he's got about 5 or 6 new guys on that punt return unit that are trying to block for him.
Cooley dropped the ball, and it's blocked. He kicks it again. They're picked up by the Bears and run in by Garrett Wolf. There's a flag on the field. Greg Stelz, the rookie defensive back, blocked the kick by Chris Cluey, who dropped the snap and still tried to get it off.
The punt was blocked, and during the loose ball, it was illegally kicked by number 5 of the kicking team. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Touchdown Bears. Special teams come through for Chicago.
Boy, this punt unit for Minnesota has had a hard time this year. That's just a perfect snap. Cluey took his eyes off of it and then picked it up and tried to punt it again, which is a mistake. With the rush and coming right in his face, Craig Stelz blocks it, then it gets kicked. Garrett Wolf picks it up off the bounce and runs it in. I mean, you gotta take it down right there. Go down, hold on to the ball, give your defense a chance to hold them to a field goal.
Robbie Gould, extra point is good. First NFL touchdown for Garrett Wolf as he picks up the block punt and puts it in the end zone.
Sam, I think mistake number 1 by the punter, Chris Cluey, is taking his eyes off the snap, being preoccupied looking downfield to Devin Hester. So he takes his eyes off it there, drops it. Now you just got to lay down, get on the ball. Mistake number 2 is trying to pick it up and punt it again. It's an easy touchdown for the Bears.
Robbie Gould's kickoff. Maurice Hicks from the 5. His 3rd return of the game. Little cutback, gets to the 30 where he's pulled down. So the Vikings right back on offense, but the Bears get their 2nd block punt return for a touchdown this season.
Well, and think about this. That's when you think about Minnesota's punt team, they've given up 3 punt returns for a touchdown. Now that one being blocked, that's 4, right?
Yeah.
That's 4 touchdowns scored against that punt coverage unit, no matter how they've come.
Vikings come out with Adrian Peterson at running back. Hunter Hillenmeyer is back on the field for the Bears at linebacker. Peterson, 3rd in the NFL, as you saw, in rushing. His 2nd year in the NFL. They fake the end around. Peterson gets about 5 up to the 35-yard line. Time for our first update of the day. We can do that. We can do that, Kurt. Thanks. On second down. Just a short pickup on the play by Adrian Peterson. Last season, in the game here between these two teams, Adrian Peterson ran for 224 yards. The Vikings ran for 311 yards in that game. And Peterson had 3 touchdowns of 73, 67, and 35. Israel Adonijah in on the defensive line for the Bears. Chester Taylor in the backfield on 3rd and 3. Frerotte gets time and completes it to Bernard Berrien. Corey Graham lifted him up, took him down. Berrien holds on. Good catch by Bernard Berrien, who ever since Gus Frerotte took over at quarterback has really come on as some top receiver.
Gus tries to drive it down the field, and he does right here with a slant route. I think any time, and he did there, that being Gus Frerotte, diagnosing man coverage. And that's what that was. He's going to try to get the ball to his best weapon, Bernard Berrien.
Peterson in the backfield. Frerotte throws in a little behind. Berrien at a late flag. Berrien wanted an interference call, and he got it. It's on Corey Graham. Second-year man out of New Hampshire, Corey Graham, making his 4th start of the season.
Number 21, defense, automatic, first down.
Bears are without 2 starting corners, Charles Tillman and Nathan Vasher. Nate Vasher missing his 3rd game in a row. And Danielle Manning also out. So Corey Graham and Trumaine McBride starting. And they've got to fill in. Marcus Hamilton comes in on nickel. Chester Taylor gets outside. And he's hauled down by Mike Brown. Gets down to the Bears' 33-yard line.
To play good run defense, you need to stay on your feet. Watch these 2 guys, Dvorak and Brian Urlacher, both end up on the ground. Fight, 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 and there Dvorak goes down, then Urlacher goes down. There's where the gap integrity is broken, and then the crease for Adrian Peterson.
Pickup of 6. It was Chester Taylor on that last carry. Peterson is in now with Nafahu Tahi at fullback. Here's Peterson, finds the opening. Nice little moves in the hole. He's got the quick feet, and it's a first down. Kevin Payne took him down. We talked about last season here at Soldier Field. There have been some great performances by opponents, but none better than Adrian Peterson as a rookie, 224 yards. Prior to that, Earl Campbell had rushed for 206 yards. Take you back to 1980. And Edgerrin James of the Colts had rushed for 204. Off the fake, Frerotte with time, throws, he's got a man, touchdown, Vicente Shenko, the tight end. And the Vikings come right back, so back and forth we go. A 70-yard drive for the Vikings, and they will try to tie it up here. Shenko getting open down the seam, his 3rd touchdown of the season. 24-yard pass from Gus Frerotte. Ryan Longwell to tie it. And we're all even.
The kick is good. Score the Bears 14, the Vikings 14.
Sammy, watch Kevin Payne, who's going to be right here, and then the running back Adrian Peterson there. Look where he's got his eyes, right there. It holds him just for a second. Shenko gets inside of him. He's going to split it right between the linebacker and Kevin Payne. Holds Kevin Payne long enough that he's late getting into the throwing lane, and Gus zips it right in front of him.
4th touchdown pass for Gus Frerotte. Gus Frerotte had no idea he'd wind up being the starting quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. Came to camp as a backup. He was living in St. Louis. Was convinced that this was a good situation. He was coming in to be the backup to Tavares Jackson. Jackson got off to a slow start in games 1 and 2, 2 losses. Frerotte inserted. He's 3-1 and throwing the ball well.
Well, and you can tell, and he's still, as you said, getting used to these wide receivers. He's not going to take a lot of checkdowns. I mean, this is his 15th year in the league. He knows the checkdowns are going to be there. He's going to look and read from deep to shallow. And if he sees a guy flashing open deep, like he did there, he's going to drive the ball down the football field.
All right, let's see what Ryan Longwell does here. And he pops it up, a short one. And it's Jason McKee again, the big fullback. Weaves his way through people and a nice return. And again, great field position for the Bears up to the 49-yard line. They'll mark it at the 48. Bears offense has really come alive in recent games. They've let Kyle Orton do his thing and go back to the third game of the season against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, second half, and suddenly it was Orton throwing the ball deep and finding his wide receivers.
Look at the numbers since then. His confidence is sky high. And I know Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator, has opened the playbook for him and given him a lot of leeway to call plays at the line of scrimmage.
Olsen, the tight end, shifts. Off the play fake. Orton on first down goes short to Greg Olsen. And Olsen is knocked back as he gets to the 46-yard line. Chad Greenway, the first tackle on the play for the Vikings. Kyle Orton's confidence right now, as you mentioned, Tim, sky high because they'll let him do things at the line. They'll give him a couple of plays. He'll check off as well. He's got the freedom to run the offense.
Jet 3, Redskin. Redskin left, Jet 3. Redskin left, 99 spike. Set. Like 20.
And after he changes the play, screen pass to Matt Forte. First down, and inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line is Forte. Ray Edwards, the defensive end, makes the stop for the Vikings. And here are the Bears on the move, and Edwards still down on the play after making the tackle.
I love the game plan here with the no huddle, and I'll tell you the positives of the no huddle is you're going to get the pass rush, which is one of the best things Minnesota does. You're going to get them gassed, you're going to get them tired, and right now they're effective by doing that with the no huddle.
Ray Edwards on the sideline being checked out by the medical staff of the Vikings. He's replaced by Brian Robinson, number 96, second-year man out of Texas. Fourth-round draft pick last year by the Vikings. Bears with a first down at the Vikings 38. Hester and Booker, the wide receivers, both to the right.
52 to the right. Red 44. Red 44.
Matt Forte straight ahead, and he's shoved back. Tough to run against the Williams wall. Pat Williams and Kevin Williams. Now flags go down after the long battle with Forte and the Vikings defenders.
Well, that's going to be on Jared Allen jumping on the pile. You can't do that late.
After the play was over, unnecessary roughness. Number 69 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
You'll see as they go down here, 69 will just come flashing in late. Looks like he was coming off the turnbuckle right there, Sam.
Eliminate penalties. That was one of the keys for the Minnesota Vikings. You can't have penalties like that. That hurts. It gives the Bears 15 free yards down to the 21-yard line. Greg Olsen splits out wide left. Two tight ends in. Hester and Booker are the wide receivers. Orton doing a lot of checking off at the line. Throws quickly. It's dropped by Desmond Clark. Darren Sharper covering on the play. And that is the first incompletion of the game for Kyle Orton. After hitting his first 6. This time working the no huddle. Orton gets time, throws and completes it. Inside the 10-yard line to Marty Booker. It's a first down for the Bears. Boy, Orton is sharp.
Oh, from the neck up, he makes all the right decisions in terms of diagnosing the coverage and throwing the football to the right guys.
Old-fashioned Vikings and Bears. First quarter, 14-14. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Carissa Thompson back in Chicago on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The Bears and the Vikings start the second quarter. Playing for first place in the NFC North, tied at 14, first and goal, just inside the 10. Two tight ends, two wide receivers. Vikings come flying across the line. False start on the Bears.
Number 67, offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Josh Beekman. He's got to deal with the big guys in the middle of that defensive line of the Vikings. All right, the Bears haven't run the ball much, but they surely passed the ball very well. Time of possession, Vikings. Bears 2 touchdowns. One, of course, was the block punt recovered by Garrett Wolf. First and goal just inside the 15. Orton steps into it, and it's dropped. Marty Booker had a touchdown. They'll bring up a second and goal. Well thrown by Orton.
Boy, he's got a laser for an arm. Just a cannon as they're going to rush only 3 guys. They're going to drop 8 into coverage. Again, Orton looking off safeties is able to clear the window for Marty Booker, and that ball just had so much heat on it. He couldn't get his hands up in time. I think it hit him right in the grill.
Everybody out, 2 wide outs, 2 tight ends, and everybody split out. And Orton calls timeout. Bears use a timeout early in the second quarter as they check things over for the offense. Bears come out, second and goal, just inside the 15. Pat Williams has come out, replaced by Fred Evans on the defensive line for the Vikings. Same formation, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Blitz coming, draw play, Forte is stopped, never got going at all. Good job by the Vikings up front, led by Jared Allen and Napoleon Harris, number 99.
Listen, we talk about Kyle Orton improving as a quarterback. Look at here, you'll see a couple of touchdown passes, but really there are a couple of different ways. He's got a cannon arm, which we've seen today on this one last week, but he's also got feathery touch as he can put some air under the ball and drop it down the chimney like he did right there to Brandon Lloyd.
Third and goal from the 17. Charles Gordon in for the Vikings as a 5th defensive back. Empty backfield. And everybody out. Orton steps away. Gets rid of it. Matt Forte is dragged down as he gets to the 8-yard line. Chad Greenway with a good tackle. And the Bears send on the field goal kicking unit.
I think what you do to Kyle Orton, and they're going to send 4, and they get pretty good rush here, but you get him to go to his left. He's not nearly as efficient when he goes to his left because he's got to turn that big body, and he can't get nearly as much velocity on the football. He just takes the check down right there to Forte.
26-yard try for Robbie Gould. The holder is Brad Maynard. Pat Manley, the long snapper. Gould puts it through. He is 12 for 13 this season. The Bears have taken the lead again. It's 17-14. With the injuries the Bears have had, they've had to retool their coverage teams. The rookie Craig Steltz is out on kickoff coverage. Jamar Williams is a staple. Joey LaRocque has been in the last 3 weeks. And once again, the ball fell off the tee. Robbie Gould will have to reset it.
One thing about this game here early in the first half, the average starting field position has heavily favored Chicago because of the squib kick and the pooch kick on the kickoffs, and you see it right there. And then Chicago, when they get the ball, average starting field position, they're on 47.
First time they got it from the 46 and then the 48.
It's the Hester effect.
Gold. Reese Hicks up to the 12-yard line. He's tripped up. Gets across the 30 before he's shoved back. And the Vikings will start up at the 34-yard line. Don't forget, the World Series begins Wednesday night only on Fox. It'll begin in the American League City, and that'll be decided tonight. Who will face the Philadelphia Phillies? Will it be the Red Sox or the Tampa Bay Rays? The Red Sox have come back from 3 games to 1 down to even that series. They play Game 7, and then it's the World Series on Fox Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. 2 tight ends, Garrett Mills and Vicente Shanko. Mills in motion. Frerotte looking. Nobody open, dumps it off, and it's dropped by Adrian Peterson. Time for another update. Thanks, Kurt. Giants in first place, trying to bounce back from their loss to Cleveland. Josh Morgan, Mike Martz loves him at wide receiver for the 49ers. Adrian Peterson in the backfield, 2 tight ends. Frerotte, pump fake, goes the other side, and he's got a man, and he completes it to Bernard Berrien. Down to the Bears' 31-yard line.
You can see this coming the whole way because it's clearly man coverage out here on Berrien, and he's just going to get the inside on Trumaine McBride. Double move, takes the inside leverage away. Gus Frerotte looked right, pumped right, and then came back to his left. And he knew long before the snap that that's where he was going with the football because of the alignment of Mike Brown, who was up in the box, the safety, which showed Gus had man coverage right up to his wide receiver.
34-yard pickup. Bernard Berrien averaging close to 20 yards per reception this season. Peterson trying to get outside, cuts it back, and gets down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Lance Briggs with a tackle. We go down to the sideline to Carissa Thompson.
Well, guys, this is Bernard Berrien's first trip back to Chicago since signing that contract with the Vikings in the offseason, and I asked him what he missed most about the city. He said the restaurants. So it's only fitting that he went to one last night with Bears wide receiver Rashid Davis. They went to a place called Japanese. Who picked up the tab? Who's to say? But he could with that contract.
You're right about that, Carissa. Thank you. On second down, 3 wide receivers in. Andre Allison is in as the third. The draw play, Chester Taylor inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. A lot going on in this game. If you just joined us, it started off with the Vikings as they finished off an opening drive on an Adrian Peterson touchdown. Bears came back, touchdown to Greg Olsen. Then Chris Kluwe had his punt blocked, picked up by Garrett Wolf, returned for a touchdown. The Vikings answered right back as Gus Frerotte hit Vicente Shanko. And then the Bears took the lead on a field goal by Robbie Gould. But here come the Vikings threatening again. Adrian Peterson cuts it back. Chased by the Bears, and they've got him. No, he's still going. Now they bring him down for a loss. Peterson wouldn't stop. Chased down by Trumaine McBride, who stayed with him.
Sam, it's played really well along the front side. Watch all these guys, but watch these 2 defenders that get up here and stay home, forcing it back through the front side. Now, when he comes back, there's the 2 defenders, Mike Brown and Trumaine McBride, staying home, waiting for that to cut back, and they were there to get a nice tackle for loss.
Marcus Harrison and Anthony Adams in on the defensive line for the Bears. 3 wide receivers for the Vikes. Have to get to the 9-yard line for a first down. Peterson, and the Bears have him again. Great job up front. That time led by Alex Brown. Anthony Adams was there to help finish it off. Great work up front by the Bears defensive front.
Well, this guy right here, Alex Brown at right end, has had a terrific game. They can't block him. I mean, they haven't been able to block him with the left tackle. They certainly can't block him right there with Jimmy Kleinsasser out at tight end. Alex Brown has been everywhere in the first half of this football game.
Vikings have been pushed back to the 26-yard line. They have to get to the 9 for a first down. 2 tight ends in. Mills splits to the left. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Taylor brought down on a nice tackle by Tommy Harris. Just across the 25-yard line. So a good defensive series for the Bears as they really toughened up.
Well, Tommy's going to flash from over here, and he's just going to fly across the line of scrimmage. I mean, he goes right inside Bryant McKinney. That was a called stunt up front. And Tommy needs that. He needs to get that confidence pump primed up a little bit so he can really start taking off and be the player that he is.
42-yard try for Ryan Longwell. Chris Cooley, the holder, to tie the game. Longwell puts it inside the upright, and the Vikings have tied it up. Ryan Longwell matches Robbie Gould's field goal. It's 17-17.
Sam, the Bears have really settled in on their run defense here in the second quarter. I mean, you're going to see 3 plays here that were all right at the line of scrimmage or for a loss. And you can see all the orange jerseys. They are winning at the point of attack. Whether it's Chester Taylor or Adrian Peterson, the Bears up front, their defensive line, have really started to settle in and dominate.
Let's see what Longwell does here. He kicks it deep. First time in the third kickoff. Hester from the 6. Slips, and the Vikings cover it well. The first 2 times the Vikings kicked off, they had a pooch, they had a short pop-up, and they gave the Bears good field position. Napoleon Harris wasn't playing in Kansas City. He used to be here in Minnesota, so they re-signed him. They needed some help at middle linebacker.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a high pick. They lost E.J. Henderson a couple of weeks ago, and they called him the MVP on their defense, their middle linebacker. So it's really been a lot of 99, as you said, out there today.
Davis and Booker, the wide receivers. Orton on first down, drops it off to Jason McGee. And the fullback rumbles up to the 29-yard line, brought down by Ben Lieber.
And it hasn't necessarily been taking advantage of the middle linebacker in the run game. It's been more with Kyle Orton throwing the football. And you see here, Vinny Churchill is in there to start the game. He's got to get depth in that cover 2 defense. Does not get enough depth and can't get over to Greg Olsen quick enough as Greg gets their first touchdown.
Bears go no huddle, and Orton checks off. On second down, Orton puts it up, but the missed communication. Booker went out, an out pattern short, and Orton threw the ball deep.
We talked about it earlier. Ron Turner has really given him a lot of freedom to make the calls at the line of scrimmage. And you can see here what he's done with his pass distribution. He's really thrown it everywhere. You know, he learned to do that at Purdue. Came right behind Drew Brees. So when he was in college his freshman year, he was calling 20, 25 audibles at the line of scrimmage. Forced him, those demands forced him to learn how to read defense.
2 tight ends, 2 wideouts. Forte in the backfield on 3rd and 3. Desmond Clark stretches out. Did he get enough for the first down? Let's see where they spot it. Looks like he got it. Good effort by Desmond Clark. Vikings checking things out. It is a first down. Brad Childress disagrees, but Desmond Clark got enough as he stretched the ball out.
And you can see here, there's a lot of 2 tight end sets around the National Football League, and certainly here in Chicago, they do a lot of it too with the emergence of Greg Olsen. Desmond Clark's always been a pretty good tight end, but you see a lot of that personnel grouping on the football field. And what they've done is they really take the fullback off and they put 2 tight ends on. This guy usually comes off and the 2 tight ends stay on the field.
Now the fullback is back in. McKee with Forte on first down. Forte runs into one of the Vikings, and that was Napoleon Harris. The middle linebacker stepped up with the first hit. Short pickup. Napoleon Harris was practicing with Kansas City, so he's been in shape, ready to play. He just was not being used by head coach Herm Edwards. Devin Hester back in at wide receiver. 5 defensive backs for the Vikings. Hester cuts it back with some room. Sharper takes him down, but it's a first down for the Bears. Across the 45-yard line, he picked up 13 on the play, and that's what they want to do, get the ball in Hester's hands quick.
A little bubble screen out there, a little missile screen. And that's what they used to do with him, and they're doing it again here now. He's got a lot more now to his repertoire. He'll get it deep, he'll do other routes, but there they just get it to him right on the line of scrimmage, get him in space, and count on some blocks like he got there from St. Clair, who just ran over the nickel corner.
Hester and Rasheed Davis are the wide receivers. Orton. Nobody open. Dumps it off. It's almost intercepted. It was in the hands of Kevin Williams, the defensive tackle. As Orton wanted to dump it off to his back out of the backfield, he almost threw an interception.
Wouldn't be Kevin Williams' first interception. He's got 4 in his career. I'll tell you what, this offensive line has really given a lot of protection for Kyle Orton. He's got a lot of time. Look at there, over 4 seconds to get rid of the football. Finally takes a late hit. The offensive line's really done a nice job against a hot pass rush by Minnesota.
Forte trying to turn the corner, wrapped up by Cedric Griffin, the cornerback. As he picked up maybe a yard on the play, just across the 46. It'll bring up a 3rd and long for Kyle Orton and the Bears. Orton is 11 of 15, 106 yards in the game. Forte has only picked up 7 yards on the ground. 5 carries, 7 yards as the Bears, that's all the Bears have rushing in the game. And the Vikings have called timeout.
Minnesota.
As Orton was audibilizing at the line of scrimmage, the Vikings decided to call a timeout to deal with a 3rd and long for the Bears with the game tied.
There's Leslie Frazier, Sam, right there, the defensive coordinator, who was a good corner here in Chicago in the 80s, part of that Super Bowl team. He said when he came back here last year with Minnesota, this is his 2nd year as the defensive coordinator, he looked around Soldier Field. He said, where am I? This place doesn't look the same.
Marty Booker in as a 3rd wide receiver for the Bears with Davis and Hester on 3rd and 9. Orton throws. That may have been tipped. Good pressure by the Vikings. They got the hands up again. They've tipped a couple of Kyle Orton's passes. And for the first time, the Bears offense fails to put up points after scoring a touchdown and a field goal.
Well, they finally had an opportunity and got him in 3rd and long to blitz a little bit. You can see there what they're going to do to Jared Allen all day is they're going to chip with the running back his way. Jared, one of the better pass rushers in the league, does not get a lot of man-up protection. Turns to him one-on-one with an offensive tackle.
Brad Maynard's first punt of the game. Charles Gordon goes over, lets it bounce. It hits Gordon. It's a free ball, and it is recovered by the Bears for a touchdown. Charles Gordon thought about waving for a fair catch. He never did.
Well, I'll tell you what he did is he tried to get over there and block the gunner so the gunner couldn't down it inside the 10-yard line. That's a mistake. When the ball's over your head and it's that close to your own goal line, you got to just get away from it.
That's Zach Bowman in his first NFL game, scoring his first touchdown. How about this?
You see exactly what Gordon tried to do right there. He tried to block the gunner on the punt team, and instead of getting away from the football, put himself in harm's way. Tries to block Bowman. The ball bounces up, hits him in the hand. Now it's a live ball. Boy, big impact there by Bowman. Forcing the block, and then goes and gets himself a touchdown. 2 touchdowns for the Bears special teams in the game. Robbie Gould for the extra point. The Bears lead by 7. It's 24-17. They've blocked a punt and recovered it and returned it for a touchdown. And here, off the muffed punt that hit Charles Gordon, recovered in the end zone by Zach Bowman. I mean, you can understand the thought process of trying to block that gunner. A lot of return guys do it. A lot of returners do it. But when you got your back up against your goal line, you cannot risk a funny bounce by the football. And that's what happened right there.
Vikings have had some problems in special teams in recent games. How about the game in New Orleans where they wanted to punt it out of bounds? Instead, they punted it to Reggie Bush, and he returned 2 for touchdowns. Now, the Vikings did find a way to win that game in overtime, but some costly plays by the Vikings on special teams this season. And right there, Charles Gordon, upset with himself.
Well, the thing is these two here today were mistakes. That block there, and then Kluwe, who just dropped a snap earlier that hit him right in the hands, and then picking it up and trying to punt it again right in the face of about 3 or 4 defenders that blocked it, and then they picked it up and ran it in.
So the Bears have the lead again. It's 24-17 as Robbie Gould tees it up. You can't turn your head in this game because something's going to happen. Good kick by Gould. Hicks backs up and takes a knee midway through the end zone. Special teams for the Bears coming up big. Kluwe dropped the snap, trying to punt it. It was blocked by Craig Stelz. Kicked it again. Picked up by Garrett Wolfe. Returned for a touchdown. This one, Charles Gordon had the ball hit him. It's free. It's loose, and the Bears recover. Zach Bowman for the touchdown. Now the Vikings back on offense, starting from the 20-yard line. Gus Frerotte, 6 for 9 for 100 yards. 2 tight ends in. Frerotte being chased. Intercepted by Corey Graham. And things taking a bad turn for the Minnesota Vikings. Bears with great field position as Graham stepped in front of the intended receiver for the interception.
This is just a bad throw, Sam, by Gus Frerotte. And he had his receiver on a comeback route, and he throws it late and then throws it inside right to the defender.
Well, the worry for the Bears would be how would the cornerbacks hold up? Graham does the job, his first career interception. Now Orton right back, throwing for the end zone behind Desmond Clark, rather Marty Booker.
Here's the pick. You're going to see the receiver come out here and do a comeback, and then just watch the trajectory and the direction of the football. He's just running a little out route, does Bernard Berry, and you, if you're Gus Frerotte, you got to get that ball to the outside, to the sideline, and he throws it inside, right where the corner Corey Graham was sitting, to get the easy pick.
Corey Graham with a good performance. Devin Hester back in with Booker. It's Matt Forte on the carry. He's dragged down from behind. Jared Allen with a good tackle at the 24-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Bears as they try to take advantage of the mistake by Gus Frerotte. Talking with former Bear Bobby Wade. Charles Gordon is in as a 5th defensive back for the Vikings, and Fred Evans replaces Pat Williams on passing situations. Two tight ends, Hester and Booker the wideouts to the left, and Forte in motion. And Orton steps back, calling a timeout. Bears have used 2 timeouts here in the first half. They lead 24-17. Don't forget the World Series Wednesday night. It opens in the American League City. It'll be the Philadelphia Phillies, the National League champions. Last time they won the World Series was in 1980. The Phils.
Wow. Well, that's the last time they went. 93, right? Was the last time they represented the National League.
Great job by the Phillies in the National League playoffs. In '93, they lost to Toronto in 6. In 1980, they beat Kansas City in 6. The Phils back in, awaiting the outcome of the American League Championship
if you're
Series.
A Red Sox fan or a Red Sox player, you just got to get down in the series and face elimination before you start playing baseball.
They have really stormed back. Here's 3rd and 8. Forte in the backfield. The pump fake. The toss into the end zone. Booker dropped it again. Marty Booker's had 2 drops in the end zone. That's another one that should have been caught.
And you can see Orton again making the right decisions. They blitz the safety that side. Terrell Johnson comes here. He's got man coverage. Perfect throw. That would have been a tough catch, but one that Marty Booker wished he had back. That's 2 times he's been in the end zone where the ball has went off his hands today.
It's tough, but that should, I believe, that should have been caught.
You bet.
3 drops for the Bears. 42-yard field goal try for Robbie Gould out of the hold of Brad Maynard. And it's blocked. And the Vikings special teams come through. Well, that's a big play for the Vikings after the Bears had great field position following the interception. The Vikes come through with a field goal block. Looks like big Kevin Williams in the middle once again.
I think it was someone jumping up from the back end that got
so?
it. I think it could be right here. It could be Churchu or watch him sky up right here. Yeah, that's Jared Allen.
Right.
That's Jared Allen right in the middle.
Okay.
And you put your tall guy in there that's got hops because he's your last line in terms of being a jumper. He gets up late. I don't know if he got it, Sam. It might have been Kevin Williams inside of him.
There's some big boys up there. Let's see. And who gets it?
Yeah, it's Pat Williams. It's right
Pat.
here.
Kevin was in the front. He missed. Pat got it. From the 32, the Vikings down by 7. Let's see what kind of lift they get from that. Peterson, flag on the play. Short gain, maybe a yard. Tommy Harris with a tackle. Adrian Peterson, 13 carries.
Offside, number 93 defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
That's against Adewale Agunlea. There's big Pat Williams, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He just loves to play. He says, I'm happy getting up every day. Look forward to playing the game.
Said he doesn't look at it as a business. He just has fun playing ball.
That's it. What a guy.
I still don't think he can dunk.
He says,
he had that argument yesterday.
Put the money on the table. He'll show you. On 1st and 5, outside to Andre Allison. And the rookie, the second-year man from East Carolina, gets up just short of the first down mark. Bring up second and less than a yard for the Vikings. Vikings have had the edge in time of possession. The Bears have come through with a couple of big plays on special teams that have gotten them 14 of their 24 points. 2 tight ends, Schenko and Kleinsasser. Peterson spins away from Tommy Harris and gets a first down up to the 47-yard line. Urlacher made the tackle. Harris had a piece of Adrian Peterson, but he broke free.
Well, and if you get Adrian Peterson going sideways, that's what you want to do. Again, Tommy's coming from, actually he's over here. He's going to penetrate right into the backfield. Slips by Burke and doesn't wrap up. Adrian Peterson just pops out of him, out of his arms. Now you get him going sideways and you're going to limit the big runs, albeit that one there was a good one for a first down for him.
Anthony Adams in for the Bears on the D-line. Time, Frerotte has it, and he throws and finds Vicente Schenko. The tight end has a first down at the 37-yard line. We've come to the 2-minute warning with the Vikings trying to get back to tie it. They're not brothers, but they might as well be. Pat Williams, 94, Kevin Williams, 93. They work so closely together, and Pat's still talking about the blocked field goal.
And you couldn't have 2 different guys either in terms of their personalities.
Peterson and Tahi in the backfield for the Vikings on first down. Flag on the play, the completion. Bernard Berrien slips a tackle and gets out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Nice move by Berrien. Let's check out the flag.
Offside, defense, number 91, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty's declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Before it was Agunlia, this time was Tommy Harris, but it's a 14-yard pickup. Fourth catch of the game for the former Bear, Bernard Berrien. And the Vikings threatening as Bears coach Lovie Smith checks the clock. Adrian Peterson in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Tight end Garrett Mills, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Garrett Mills splits out, one of the tight ends. Everybody out. Frerotte. Vicente Shenko inside the 5. And the tight end Vicente Shenko with his 3rd catch of the game.
Hunter Hillenmeyer's in coverage here on Vicente Shenko. He's going to be here, and he gives up the inside leverage. Brian Urlacher's got to get depth right to the hole. You see Urlacher gets caught up in the line of scrimmage, which opens the throwing lane right there for Gus Frerotte to hit Shenko before Mike Brown takes him down.
19-yard pickup for Shenko. 3 wide receivers on 1st and goal. Andre Allison, the 3rd wide receiver. The blitz coming. Frerotte throws outside. Flag on the play. It's going to be interference as Berrien was dragged down by Trumaine McBride. That's going to give Minnesota a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
And that's a good call.
Pass interference, number 26, defense. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic. First down.
It's going to go here. Gus Frerotte wants to get him on the back shoulder. You can see the ball was in the air, and Trumaine McBride put his hands all over the shoulder pads of Bernard Berrien and knocked him down.
Taylor and Peterson in the backfield on 1st and goal. Mills, the tight end, in motion. Peterson getting to the goal line, fighting, but did not get in. Good stop up front by the Bears. The Vikings within a foot of the goal line. Vikings still have 2 timeouts remaining. Adrian Peterson scored earlier. Vikings letting the clock run down. Peterson and Taylor in the backfield. Taylor over the top, touchdown. So they changed it up, and the Vikings come back with an outstanding drive.
All fueled by that blocked field goal from Pat Williams. Just a quick little dive. Chester Taylor up over the top. Good surge by the offensive line, the center and both guards.
Ryan Longwell to tie it up, and he does. And once again, the Vikings come back, and with that point, Ryan Longwell has reached 1,300 points in his career. Chester Taylor with the touchdown.
Big Pat saying, yeah, baby.
Pat Williams was the man with the blocked field goal, and the Vikings turned that into a 7-play, 68-yard drive. The Williams Wall performing its
and arguably
magic.
Really the best tandem in the league when you think about it.
Let's get to know the Williams boys.
I'm a U.S. Marshal. That's out there at the offseason. So I always tell him, if I ever catch him driving through my town, I'm going to have the guys pull him over and throw him on the ground. You know, I'm dirty. I'm going to get a car, just throw it against the wall, and just say, get out. We ain't no problem. Yeah, for free. Kevin Williams got beat down by fellow teammate Pat Williams.
Pat Williams, he's a marshal. Don't drive too fast through his town, Kevin. He'll get you.
Both of those guys, you know, when they signed Jared Allen, they both went to the airport to pick up Jared Allen.
Now,
you
what
talk
was
about
Jared
two
thinking?
different cats. Jared's like, whoa,
and
who are these guys?
And he took them and he bought them both cowboy hats.
Oh, no. See Pat with a big old belt buckle.
Watch out
Cowboy
for the short
boots.
kick. It's a short pop kick coming down and is grabbed by Adrian Peterson of the Chicago Bears. There, Adrian Peterson. and he gets it up to the 41-yard line. So they kept it away from Devin Hester again. There's special teams performer and backup running back for the Bears. They're Adrian Peterson. Bears have 1 timeout remaining. 18 seconds left first half. And there's the Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings. This game has been tied at 7. It's been tied at 14 and now tied at 24. And that pass is complete to Greg Olsen at the 41-yard line. The Bears call a timeout with 10 seconds remaining.
And they still got to get more yards for Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould's never kicked a 50-yarder in his career, so they got to get down to about the 32 or 33-yard line. They're still about 7 or 8 yards short of that right now.
And we've got more great football for you on the NFL on Fox next week. It all begins with a pregame show at noon Eastern, and then we've got Tampa Bay at Dallas. We've got the Rams, who are winning today against Dallas. They'll be in New England. Later on, the Giants and Steelers. All part of our Fox doubleheader next week. This game has been tied at 7, at 14, at 17, and now at 24. Robbie Gould hoping for a chance to maybe break the tie.
It's got to be something. No timeouts left. It's got to be something right in here, out of bounds.
3 wide receivers, everybody out. Orton throws, complete to Rashid Davis, and he tried to roll out of bounds at the 36-yard line with 5 seconds remaining, and he got out of bounds. And here comes Robbie Gould and the field goal kicking unit. And this try will be about, let's see, 54 yards.
And that'll be a career long for him. Again, he's never gone more than 50.
His season long 45, his career long 49. The Williams wall trying to rise up, and we've got movement on the line. I think the Vikings may have jumped across.
I think you're right. It's going to be 5 more to help out Robbie Gould.
That's going to move it up.
Encroachment, number 90, defense, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Fred Evans, number 90, the man called. Let's see. It actually wasn't 90. Yeah, it's Ray Edwards, number 91. So now it's moved up, and it's inside the 39. It'll be officially a 48-yard try. Manley, the long snapper, Maynard, the holder. Gold for 48. It's on the line, and it's right through, and the Bears lead at halftime, 27-24. The Vikings gave him 5 yards on the encroachment, and Robbie Gould made him pay. This has been a back and forth game, and we're only at halftime. Welcome back to Soldier Field in Chicago. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Carissa Thompson. Bears with a 27-24 lead, and the Bears have done it through the air. They've only run the ball 6 times. Can they win that way, Tim?
Well, I think they can. I think what we see is Kyle Orton is on full display here at Soldier Field today. And you mentioned, I think 8 yards rushing in the football game, and they've dropped a couple of touchdowns. Marty Booker's had a couple go off of his hands. So it's really been about the special teams play, the miscues by Minnesota. Obviously, Chicago doing some good things when they're able to force Minnesota into those miscues. But Kyle Orton, both quarterbacks really, Sam, have been very, very good in this football game.
Devin Hester is back deep. The Bears deferred at the start of the game, so they received the kickoff to start the second half. They've only kicked to Hester once. Longwell tries it again. This one a good deep kick. Hester backs up to the goal line, slips, and is taken down at the 20. The ball popped loose. It's recovered by the Vikings.
Devin Hester said he was down. Maurice Hicks came flying in there, and
the Vikings think they have it. They're sending out the offense. Let's see.
Let's see. Hester's going to slip here. Now watch 43 flash into your screen right there. Now is that ball coming out? Looked like the ground caused the fumble, or was the ball starting to become dislodged before he hit the ground?
I thought it came loose when the elbow hit the ground.
Well, either way, Lovie Smith's going to throw the challenge flag here. There it is.
Cedric Griffin was the man who recovered for the Vikings. The referee today is Carl
Chicago
Cheffers.
is challenging the ruling on the field that have a fumble. We'll review the play.
Carl Cheffers in his first year as a referee, 9th year in the NFL. There's the hit. Hester goes down. He's got the ball. His arm hits, and then the ball comes loose.
Well, remember, it was called a fumble on the field. And let's see there. Is the ball coming out before the elbow is down? The elbow's down right there, but had the ball started to dislodge yet?
After review, the runner's forearm hit the ground with control of the ball. Therefore, he is down by contact. The ball will be put at the 20-yard line. Please set the game clock to 14:58. Chicago will not be charged with a timeout.
Brad Childress didn't agree, and you can understand why.
That's the right call.
I thought it was the right call. I thought he was down, and I thought that the ground...
Remember, the elbow's down.
That's right.
And still had control when the elbow did touch the turf. Good challenge by Lovie Smith.
The Bears will start from the 20. With a 3-point lead, Desmond Clark, the tight end, splits out wide left.
Hot! Red 42! Kick it! Red 42!
Matt Forte straight ahead, and the Williams ball was there, but he bounces off and turns it into a nice 8-yard gain. Napoleon Harris and Drew Sharper with the tackle. Tough to run up the middle against the Minnesota Vikings.
Tough to run anywhere, but you see right there up the middle, it's 4 rushes, 2 yards. Here comes the no huddle again for Chicago.
Rasheed Davis and Marty Booker, the wide receivers. Forte tries to find some room, and he finds just enough to get to the 30-yard line and get a first down. Kevin Williams took him down.
They had this stopped pretty good. You'll see Ben Lieber coming from the backside, and then watch the move right here for a big guy. How Forte can do this. He's sliding there. Now watch this little juke. Boop. Right there for a guy 220 pounds. The way he moves and wiggles up into the hole and gets north and south is really uncanny.
What was that again? First down. Everybody out. Orton's pass complete. Rasheed Davis was bumped by Chad Greenway and goes down at the 40-yard line. Very close to a first down. Bears offense has done a good job of moving the football.
You got to love the no huddle, because what it's done is it has slowed down the pass rush up front for Minnesota.
Second and short. Orton with time. He finds Desmond Clark. And the big tight end is inside the 40-yard line down at the 39. Napoleon Harris took him down. As Leslie Frazier looks on, they're spreading it around.
Well, and his linebackers are having a hard time here. He's just going to run a little stick route. It's going to out and up as he takes it out on Chad Greenway, does Desmond Clark, and then cuts it back up inside. They've worked on those linebackers over the middle of the field with the short passing game.
Picked up 21 on the last play. The toss to Forte, trying to get outside. It's down to the 35-yard line. We go to the sideline to Carissa Thompson.
Well, guys, I caught up with both coaches at halftime, and for Brad Childress, he was very happy with their offense. He says we move the ball well against these guys. We just got to stop giving them so many freebies. For Lovie Smith, he thinks this game will be won on special teams, but he hopes he doesn't have to. He wants to establish that run like what they're trying to do right now.
Thanks, Carissa. They spot the ball at the 36. Two tight ends in. Orton works out of the shotgun. Everybody out. Orton throws. Desmond Clark heading for the end zone. Drops the football. It's recovered by Rasheed Davis for a touchdown. Desmond Clark was hit at the goal line. Rasheed Davis, following the play, was there.
Desmond Clark is going to come from over here, tight end spot. You see from the right side there. And Chad Greenway just can't run with him. They also had the other tight end, Greg Olsen, split out next to him. Had a heavy formation over to the right side. Desmond Clark comes across the field and just outruns his leverage to the inside of Greenway, the linebacker.
Heads up play by Rasheed Davis. And the Bears have a 10-point lead. The points continue to come. Kyle Orton has been using his tight ends. Desmond Clark just couldn't get in, but they recovered for a touchdown. Desmond Clark has caught 3 passes in the game. That time he fumbled at the 1, but Rasheed Davis there to recover for the touchdown. For the second time in 3 games, the Bears have scored 34 points.
And you can see, I mean, Kyle Orton's been terrific through the air over these last 4 games. 4.5 games, but that 2 tight end set is a big part of what Chicago does.
Maurice Hicks dropped the ball, picks it up at the 13. And he's brought down at the 20. There's a flag on the play. And I believe this is going to be against the Vikings on the return. I thought Zach Bowman might have been blocked in the back.
Here's the touchdown, and I want you to watch a couple of things on the touchdown with the tight end Desmond Clark. And then look at the middle linebacker. Here's Napoleon Harris right here. Here's Desmond Clark right there. Look at the leverage. Now that's a hard man coverage right there by Chad Greenway. This guy's got to get some depth to get into the throwing lane. Now he is free. He's not supposed to cover this guy, but depth into the throwing lane would have certainly helped out Chad Greenway, who was really aligned in a tough spot, outflanked to the inside, trying to roll with the tight end and man coverage. I stand corrected. The penalty was against the Bears, and the ball is up, spotted at the 36-yard line. 15-yard penalty against the Bears. Vikings start from the 36. Adrian Peterson and Nafahu Tahi in the backfield. Tahi the fullback. Peterson slipping a tackle, gets up close to the 39-yard line. Peterson had 14 carries, 50 yards in the first half. Adewale Ogunleye on the tackle for the Bears. The Vikings have run the ball well in this game. Peterson and Chester Taylor. He ran it a lot better in the first quarter than he did in the second quarter, that's for sure. The Bears started to settle in up front.
2 tight ends, Garrett Mills and Jim Kleinsasser. Frerotte right through the hands of the fullback, Nafahu Tahi. Tahi upset with himself. 3rd-year man out of BYU. Bring up a 3rd and 7.
They got 3 safeties on the field. We saw some of this in practice with their 4th-round pick, Craig Stelz. He's getting into that 3 safety package, and I think a big part of that is because of all their injuries in the secondary. They're just trying to field some healthy bodies.
3 wide receivers for the Vikings. Kleinsasser, the tight end, shifting. Frerotte under pressure, drops it off. Chester Taylor. He's got enough for the first down, lunging as he was being brought down by Hunter Hillenmeyer. Should point out that Sidney Rice started the game for the Vikings, but came out early and has not been back in at wide receiver. He's been bothered by a knee injury.
And he practiced and tried to practice quite a bit. And even Brad Childress said that, you know what, I appreciate his honesty. He went up and told our wide receiver coach, George Stewart, look, I can't play the whole game. I can't go 50 or 60 plays. And clearly he was right with his own health.
Peterson on first down. Good hole there. Cuts it back. Turns it into a big one. Can he get one more block? Adrian Peterson goes all the way. Touchdown Vikings, a 54-yard touchdown run for Adrian Peterson. He's done it again at Soldier Field.
Wow. Well, watch the linebackers. They're both going to get caught up. Briggs and Urlacher. Hillenmeyer's coming over the top. Here's the block by Herrera, and then a bad angle by Kevin Payne. I mean, you got to play that thing inside out and force him to the sidelines if you're Kevin Payne. And he just cuts back inside and then outruns Mike Brown to the end zone.
Ryan Longwell's kick is good. The Vikings are back to within 3. Last year he had 3 touchdown runs here at Soldier Field. He's had 2 in this game today. Adrian Peterson is over 2,000 yards rushing in his career.
And you see there, the 3 best tacklers all can't make a play. See Urlacher get caught up inside, Briggs got caught up inside, and then Kevin Payne takes a bad angle on Adrian Peterson.
Devin Hester is hurting. That's Garrett Wolf on the return. He bounces off one man, and then he is hauled down at the 20-yard line. Hester with a quad injury, and it looks like he is done for the game.
Yeah, when you see the lower legs, hamstrings or quads, and they get the ice on him right away, that usually means that's it. He's cooked for the afternoon.
So Hester, who's been playing wide receiver, that's a big loss because he's been playing a lot at wide receiver and is an important man. Now it's Rasheed Davis and Marty Booker, the wideouts. The Bears start from the 20 with a 3-point lead. Quick outside, complete to Booker. And he's up across the 35 to the 37-yard line. A first down, Napoleon Harris. And Cedric Griffin took him down. Booker happy that he finally held on. He's dropped a couple in this game, 16-yard game. Here's Napoleon Harris, who's played a lot at middle linebacker for the Vikings today. In his first action of the season, he hadn't been playing at all in Kansas City. He was signed this week. Orton McKee in the backfield. Coming with a blitz. Orton gets rid of it, incomplete. Big time pressure from Jared Allen. Talked to the Vikings coaches about Jared Allen. Said, is he what you expected? Have you gotten what you expected? They said more than what we expected.
Exceeded all expectations is what Leslie Frazier told us. And he's only got 3 sacks, but he changes protections. And he's really, you know, you think of Kevin Williams and the 6 sacks by Kevin Williams. A big part of that is because Jared Allen is getting a lot of the double teams and Kevin Williams is getting single blocked.
Orton 17 for 25, 210 yards on 2nd and 10. Play fake. Short pass to McKee, the fullback. Darren Sharper closing quickly. Takes him down for a short gain. You talked about Jared Allen and the effect, Tim.
Well, and you can see it right here because they're going to end up trying to double team right here Kevin Williams with the tackle and the guard, but then the tackle gets stuck and he wants to come out here to Jared Allen. That frees up Kevin Williams one-on-one. Kevin Williams gets the sack. Here they're going to stay doubled on Kevin Williams 93. Jared Allen gets singled up. He gets in on the sack. So it's really pick your poison when both of those guys are on the same side of the ball defensively.
2 tight ends, 3rd and 9 for the Bears. Pressure on Orton, steps up, and he's sacked. First sack of the game, and it's Jared Allen. Good pressure by the man we were talking about.
It's exactly what we're talking about. One-on-one, he's going to bull rush John St. Clair. They double Kevin Williams. That's what we talked about. 2 there. He gets the single up on the left tackle and just pushes him into the quarterback, comes inside and gets the sack and then ropes the calf after.
Ropes the calf, that's right. He loves that rodeo stuff. Second punt of the game for Brad Maynard. Charles Gordon backs up to the 12. A couple of nice moves. And Gordon is brought down across the 20-yard line. Big pileup at the 21. Well, the Vikings get a good defensive stop. They're down by 3 and have the ball. We had a flag on the play.
Holding number 57 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
That will set the Vikings back on the penalty to the rookie, the new member of the Vikings, Rufus Alexander. Now, after football today, Jared Allen might be taking a look at the professional bull riders match that we have coming up. Nice to rope the calf. Vikings start from the 5-yard line, and Adrian Peterson gets up to the 14-yard line. Lance Briggs on the stop.
Yeah, I like that little calf rope and sack dance, but you know, you tell me, he looks more like a steer wrestler than a calf roper, doesn't he?
Could be. He's a big man. Signed the big contract and has done a good job. The defenses have given up a lot of points in this game. Bears have some changes on the defensive line. Israel Adonijah is in. Mark Anderson is in. Peterson again, cutting it back. He gets across the 15 up to the 18-yard line. It's a first down for the Vikings. Brian Urlacher with the tackle. Adrian Peterson, first running back to go over 100 yards against the Chicago Bears this season.
And the Bears are playing a risk-reward game up front. They are doing a lot of slanting with their defensive line and crossing the face of the O-lineman and leaving their linebackers to come over the top. They may get caught by another big one because of Adrian Peterson's ability.
3 wide receivers in. Flag thrown.
False start, number 40. Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
The veteran tight end Jim Kleinsasser called for the penalty. Vikings set back to the 13-yard line. Both teams will have a bye week next week, and they're both ready for it. They're banged up. Talking to Brad Childress yesterday, and he said the guys need it. There's a lot of injuries for both teams. Peterson and Tahi in the backfield on 1st and 15. Frerotte steps up, flag on the play. Deep ball is overthrown and intercepted by Trumaine McBride. He is down. That flag, I believe, is going to go against the Vikings.
Number 74, offense. That penalty's declined. First down, Chicago.
McBride with the interception. McKinney was the man called on the penalty.
Right there. Look at the get off by Alex Brown. That forced the whole thing. McKinney takes him up high illegally in the face.
Corey Graham had an interception earlier. Trumaine McBride with his first career interception. So the cornerbacks replacing the injured Charles Tillman and Nate Vasher coming up with interceptions. Greg Olsen, the tight end, is split out to the right. Orton checking off, goes to Olsen on a quick slant. And Olsen is up to the 49-yard line. That's a first down for the Bears.
Here's the interception. Is right here. Watch the get off by Alex Brown. And then Bernard Berrien does not turn into a defender here as a wide receiver. He almost gives up on it. Now when he sees it's overthrown, you got to go play a little defense, help out your quarterback so that ball's not picked.
2 wide receivers left. Olsen right. Forte carrying, no gain on the play. Good job up front. Tough to run against the Vikings. We've said that throughout. The Bears have rushed for a total of 23 yards in the game. That's it. 10 carries for Forte, 23 yards. But Orton's passing has been outstanding. He's 19 for 27. No interceptions.
It's been everywhere. It's been level 1, level 2, and level 3. In terms of those passing zones, he's hit Minnesota defensively everywhere.
2nd and 10. The fake, he's in trouble. It's knocked out of his hands. Recovered by Pat Williams. The Vikings recover the fumble. Jared Allen knocked it out of Kyle Orton's hands. Pat Williams recovers.
Well, here's what the good defensive ends do. This time Jared Allen takes it around the corner. Let's watch the clock here and see how long Kyle Orton held it. A little over 3 seconds, and gives Jared Allen the opportunity to turn the corner, come from the backside, and swat it out and get a sack and a forced fumble.
2nd sack of the game for Jared Allen. First turnover for the Bears. Adrian Peterson is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Excellent play by Lance Briggs. The rebirth of the St. Louis Rams.
Where's the killer instinct by the Cowboys?
Whoa.
I know Brad Johnson's out there, but a little more than that happening up in St. Louis today.
On 2nd and 10, Frerotte for Kleinsasser. He dropped it. He spun around. Was looking inside. The ball thrown on the outside shoulder. They'll bring up a 3rd and 10. Corey Graham was covering on the play. Israel Adonijah has replaced Dusty Dvorak up front for the Bears. Crowd getting into it. Vikings 3 for 6 on third down conversions in the game. Frerotte stepping up, drops it off to Chester Taylor, and he's down to the 36. He's short of a first down. Let's see what Brad Childress decides to do here. It would be a very long field goal. Looks like he'll go for it on 4th and 1. They had a 4th and goal from the 1-yard line on their first drive of the game. They went for it, and Adrian Peterson scored the touchdown. Two tight ends, Saucer and Mills. Here's 4th and 1. Tahi, the fullback, is in. Play fake. Frerotte looking, throws it, incomplete. Trying to go to Bernard Berrien. I think originally he wanted to go to Adrian Peterson.
Well, Urlacher had him covered up like a blanket coming out of the backfield. Here's Brian Urlacher right here, and you can watch, there's his coverage on Adrian Peterson. And he's all over him. Gus wants to get it to him. Now he can't. Now he's got to look to his second read inside, and Corey Graham was in terrific shape on Bernard Berrien. When you play a guy like Gus Frerotte, you can play that coverage because you're not worried about him turning the corner and picking up a first down with his legs.
So the Bears get it back on downs and start from their 37. Forte and McKee in the backfield. Forte follows the fullback McKee. Gets up to the 43-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play.
Tell me the big fella doesn't run. Watch Pat right here. He's going to get up, penetrate. Now he's in chase mode. Getting all 335 pounds going. Snap to whistle for the big fella. He's not stopping until that whistle blows. Sam?
He's a big man, but he loves to play the game. Two tight ends in for the Bears on 2nd and 4. Marty Booker was hit. Well, that's close. Winfield was covering. Winfield's had a great season. They don't attack Antoine Winfield much. That time that pass for Booker, there was contact very close. Fans wanted an interference.
Sam, that contact was before the ball got there. And you can make a play on the ball, no question, but you can't run up the back of the wide receiver. And watch what Winfield does here. He's going to turn and break. There's the contact long before the ball got there.
Earl Bennett, the rookie out of Vanderbilt, is in as a 3rd wide receiver for the Bears. Forte. He's got enough for the first down. Good effort by Matt Forte. Good blocking up front by the Bears. And Forte turns it into a first down. He hasn't picked up all that much. 12 carries, 35 yards. That was a big first down. And the Bears go no huddle again.
Choose the mic. Stop. Right 20.
Blitz was picked up. Orton finds Marty Booker. Turned it inside. He may go all the way. He does. Touchdown. "51 yards. Marty Booker, who dropped a couple earlier, took the short one and turned it inside and took it to the house. 40 points on the board for the Bears. A season high. Robbie Gould will look to add to that. The Bears have had injuries at wide receiver, and players have stepped up. Started the game without Brandon Lloyd. Devin Hester has been injured, and now the Bears with a 10-point lead again. It's 41-31.
Couple things to look at here. Jared Allen's going to drop out. That means you got a blitz coming from over here. Watch the blitz pickup from Forte. Right there on Napoleon Harris. Now you've got a big D end out in coverage. He runs right by Marty Booker. Clever move by Marty Booker to take it back inside. Then he splits the defenders and he's off to the races. Watch how Jared Allen runs right by him in coverage. And then Booker right there cuts upfield, turns on the Jets, and it's over.
Choose the mic. Set. Right 20.
You heard him say 52's the mic. They picked up Greenway on the blitz. And Orton, good play by Kyle Orton, who's had a terrific game. 20 for 29, 274 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Bears trailed 7-0. Since then, they haven't trailed in the game. They've been tied 4 times. They've had a 10-point lead in the game twice. Now they lead by 10, 41-31. Here's Maurice Hicks from the 8-yard line. There's a lane. He bounces it outside. And the kicker, Robbie Gould, slowed him down enough to get help for the tackle at the 30-yard line. Don't forget the World Series exclusively on Fox. It begins Wednesday night. Games 1 and 2 in the American League City, either Boston or Tampa Bay. Wednesday and Thursday, off day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if necessary, Monday at Philadelphia. And if necessary, games 6 and 7. Wednesday, Thursday. Adrian Peterson in the backfield. World Series on Fox Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Peterson. Short pickup. The offenses and special teams have put up a lot of points. Adrian Peterson, he's special to watch. The Bears trying to contain him. But finally, he broke loose in the 3rd quarter. Look at this run.
Well, you could watch him on tape from the first 6 games, and you could see he's really close to popping one of those big ones, as he did here today in the 3rd quarter.
Chester Taylor is in now at tailback. Shanko shifting, Taylor carrying, and he fights his way for about 2 yards. It's a good effort by the Bears defense, led by Kevin Payne, the leading tackler on the Bears this season.
And he's going to be a lot up here in the box, or what I like to call the combat zone, and everybody's going to come this way. Watch the backers over the top now. He's going to sit right in the hole for the big hit right there. And he comes with nasty intentions now. He took a bad angle earlier. I know that's still in his head, which gave up the big touchdown. When he has a shot now, he's going to take a big one on the running back. You can, anytime a guy's got that cowboy collar on, he's bringing it.
Vikings have to get to the 41 for a first down. Everybody out. Frerotte. The pass is tipped and intercepted by Kevin Payne. He's got a couple of blockers. Payne inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line. 3rd interception of the game for the Bears. You were talking about him. He must have heard you.
Well, he can do it, and they love his upside, because the more Sunday reps he gets, the better. He's all the way over here. He's going to flash to the middle of the field. Now he's in the deep middle. He's the deep safety. Tip ball right there by Briggs, and Payne's just sitting in center field to take it. And now a little running. The old high school running back comes out of him as he takes it down the sideline. All the way to the 6-yard line.
Pretty good running.
Well, he's versatile. I mean, we saw him up in the box, and then that time we saw him deep in the passing game.
On 1st and goal, Forte fights his way down to the inside the 2-yard line. 3 interceptions for the Bears. For Payne, that's his 3rd interception of the season. Corey Graham had 1. Trumaine McBride had 1 here in the 2nd half.
Well, what did Lovie Smith tell us? Every time we come in here and do a game, he wants his team to force 3 turnovers. Today they got 3 picks on defense and they've scored twice on special teams.
3 tight ends in on 2nd and goal. The play fake. Orton throws, and it's incomplete. Dangerous pass. Tried to get it to Greg Olson, but he was double covered by Greenway and Lieber. And that's not a law firm either.
Lieber's in man coverage, and he's going to get his hands up at the last second. Really a terrific play by Ben Lieber. There is a size advantage right there to Greg Olson, who's every bit of 6'5".
The quarterback, Cedric Griffin, was there. Here's 3rd and goal from the 2 with 3 tight ends in. Forte, there's a hole. He gets down to the 1-yard line. And we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter in a high-scoring game. The Bears have a 10-point lead. They're knocking on the door for more in this big battle for first place. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Carissa Thompson at Soldier Field in Chicago. We start the 4th quarter. Lovie Smith going for it on 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. 3 tight ends in. The play fake. Orton throws. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Desmond Clark was taken down. It's interference, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
They're going to get Vinny Churchill.
Pass interference, number 54, defense. The penalty occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic. 1st down.
There's Desmond Clark. He's going to cross the formation. Churchill is playing catch-up now, and he just slips. Oh, that's a tough call on Churchill.
He did get a piece of him in the end zone.
Looked almost like Desmond Clark grabbed him by the shoulder pad, threw him in front of him, and then Churchill slipped.
It's a new set of downs for the Bears. 1st and goal at the 1. 6 penalties in the game for Minnesota.
The play started inside the 1-yard line. Therefore, the penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
That's clarified. The Bears stay with 3 tight ends, Clark, Olson, and Kellen Davis. Forte and McKee in the backfield. Forte, touchdown. Just walks in easily. As they block down well, McKee with a big block, and Forte takes it in, and the Bears widen their lead.
Well, anytime you're going to get it out here, you got to get these guys blocked. They both come down, and then there's McKee, who takes Jared Allen late and seals it up for Forte.
Robbie Gould for the extra point. Wow, 48 points for the Bears. We've just started the 4th quarter. It's 48-31. There was a flag on the play.
That's just a good example of the vision, Sam, of Forte. I mean, Minnesota was doing all they could to shut down the inside run, slanting inside.
Defense, number 23, lined up in the neutral zone. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Timeout.
And as they slanted inside, Forte saw it right away, bounced it out, and took it in for 6.
One of Tim's favorites. Robbie Gould kicks off to Maurice Hicks at the 1. Hicks finds the lane and just bowls into Garrett Wolf, who takes him down at the 32-yard line.
Bears fans are great. And look at the girls here. I mean, it's not only the guys, it's the girls that absolutely love watching the Chicago Bears. Look at that. Wrap it up, baby.
Yeah, they're wearing Devin Hester jerseys. From the 32, Chester Taylor in the backfield. Frerotte works out of the shotgun. Throws short and completes it up to the 40-yard line. Bobby Wade, the former Bears draft pick, is brought down. Pickup of 8 on the play. Early Halloween. Adrian Peterson back in. Vikings need to get something going right away. They've fallen behind by 17, their biggest deficit of the game. Peterson bounces it out. Zach Bowman missed him. Brian Urlacher and Hunter Hillenmeyer brings him down.
Well, and Gus Frerotte, you see him there, has really started good, but has struggled since the first quarter, and you see most quarterbacks do on the road. Look at the difference there. If you were going to put a letter grade on it, you play at home, that's a B+. You play on the road, and you're above a C, just maybe to a C+, and right now he's got a D for the day. QB rating of about 60.
On first down, Peterson trying to take it outside, nothing doing. Urlacher got there with a first hit, and then he was finished off. A loss of about 3 on the play.
You can see the D-line. I mean, they talked about reestablishing. Alex Brown has been everywhere. Reestablishing a line of scrimmage in the backfield of the Minnesota Vikings. And really, besides the one long run where Peterson broke free, they've done that most of the afternoon.
3 wide receivers. Andre Allison in as the 3rd receiver. Peterson in the backfield. Everybody out. Thrown too low. Intended for Allison near midfield. And that'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Vikings.
Now what you're going to see the rest of this game, Sam, being up by 17, is traditional cover 2 defense. And when you do traditional cover 2, you better get pass rush with your front 4. This time Tommy Harris is able to get enough pressure on Frerotte that Gus has to unload it underneath right there before Tommy gets him for the sack. You rush 4, you keep 7 in coverage. That's what Lovie Smith is going to do for a good portion of the rest of this game, being up 17.
Another injury to a Bears defensive back. That's the rookie Zach Bowman, who has a recovery in this game of a muff punt for a touchdown. And he was in at cornerback, and right now being checked out. Looks like his arm is being checked out. And the Bears continue to get banged up. NFL on Fox next Sunday, the pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Then the Cowboys host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Some of you will see that game. Later on, it's the Giants at the Steelers. It's the NFL on Fox, and the revived Rams will be at New England. Rams leading Dallas 31-7 after winning in Washington last week. Jim Haslett.
Well, you know, if you know one thing about Has, they're going to fight you. If you know Jim Haslett, we do from doing a bunch of those games. The guy coaches the way that he plays. It's a fist fight every play.
He's intense, no doubt about that. Well, Corey Graham was banged up during the game. Zach Bowman in for him. Now Bowman comes out and Marcus Hamilton going in for him. So Lovie Smith just really trying to improvise in the secondary.
Well, and they may end up needing to put one of those receivers in a corner if they have to. He talked about Rasheed Davis being able to play a little corner if they get into a pinch. He can't use Devin Hester in that role because Devin Hester is out with an injury.
Vikings have to get to the Bears 46. Dump it off to Chester Taylor. Gets to midfield. He's brought down at the Bears 49-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th and 3. And let's see what Brad Childress decides to do here. He may go for it. 4th quarter, down by 3 scores.
Got to go for it. It can't be any worse for his punt team. They have been brutal today with the miscues.
Adrian Peterson back in. Vikings go for it. They've got to get to the 46 for a first down. Three wide receivers. Frerotte rolls and throws to Andre Allison, and he gets down to the 40-yard line. Good job of staying inbounds. A first down for Andre Allison. Pickup of 10 on the play. Frerotte kept that play alive.
Yeah,
there was a little pressure on him. Ball spotted at the 39. Anthony Adams in on the defensive line for the Bears, replacing Dusty Dvorak. Shenko in motion. dumps it off. Adrian Peterson gets down to the 30-yard line. Urlacher and Hillenmeyer combining on the tackle. Adrian Peterson has run for 121 yards in the game. And his first reception of the game.
You can see here, I mean, there's a lot of time left, but being down 17 and the Bears playing that cover 2, which almost like a prevent shell. Gus Frerotte and these Vikings are going to have to hurry it up.
On 2nd and 1, he hits Allison. Little slant by Andre Allison, and he's down to the 12-yard line. And the Vikings on the move. We've got an update, an injury update. Let's go to Carissa Thompson.
Yeah, like you guys mentioned, one of a couple that are going on over here on the Chicago Bears sideline. Bowen is out with a bicep injury. He's over here icing it right now. We will not see him the rest of the game.
Thank you, Carissa. 18-yard pickup on the last play. Adrian Peterson in the backfield. 3 wide receivers for the Vikes. Frerotte. Badly thrown pass, a little too high as Wade was going outside, and that pass missed connection. Bears have Trumaine McBride, Corey Graham, and they've used Craig Stelz at cornerback in this game.
Well, let's see if Brad Childress will come out and run any 4 wide stuff.
Stelz on the sideline. He's seen some action today. Chester Taylor in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Quick outside to Bernard Berrien. Graham slipped off of him. He had him by the jersey, and Berrien gets down to the 5-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play. Bring up 3rd and 2 for the Vikings. But this is all 4 downs now for the Vikes. They've got to go for it.
And I think to elaborate on that point, with only 3 healthy corners for Chicago, I'm not so sure the Vikings, because of Sidney Rice suiting up for this game and then going down, can get 4 wideouts on the football field.
Chester Taylor in the backfield on 3rd and 2 with 3 wide receivers. Blitz coming. Taylor, stop. Hunter Hillenmeyer leading the charge, and that brings up 4th and 2 for the Vikings.
Well, and this is all caused by the blitz up inside, and you're going to watch Urlacher and Briggs right here. Now watch the block down here, which leaves Tommy Harris free to flash and Hunter Hillenmeyer free to flash. Good swim move right there, but I mean, they had to squeeze down on the inside because of what Urlacher and Briggs did coming up inside those A-gaps in between the guard and the center.
Well, knowing he needs 3 scores, they're in position to get 1, and Ryan Longwell will attempt a 23-yard field goal. And that one is through. Longwell puts 3 on the board. The Bears' lead is 14, 48-34. Vikings have had to revise their coverage units. Rufus Alexander just brought up from the practice squad this week, 2nd-year man out of Oklahoma, seeing time on coverage. With Devin Hester injured, Garrett Wolf is deep for the Bears. Longwell kicks it deep, and Wolf on the return from the 2. It's up close to the 25-yard line. There's a flag on the play. All the way back in Vikings territory. As our referee Carl
Offside
Cheffers
on
checks
the
it out.
kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
All right, and we've got an injured Viking player down on the field. That's
Garrett
the tight
Mills,
end. Yes,
like.
Garrett Mills. Both these teams have had a lot of injuries. They will relish the bye week next week to try and get healthy for the drive to the second half. Bears will receive the kickoff again from Ryan Longwell after the 5-yard penalty. Garrett to the 4. Bounces off his own man and then is covered up at the 23-yard line. And following our game today, we've got the AT&T post-game show with exclusive BCS standings. Hope you'll stay tuned for that.
They opening that bad boy up today?
Yeah,
BCS
checking it out.
Right?
It's time. Penn State with a big win yesterday. They've got Ohio State coming up. Forte bouncing it outside. Nice run by Matt Forte across the 30. Vikings have made some mistakes, more than the Bears. Chris Kluwe dropped the snap, tried to punt, it was blocked. Garrett Wolf picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown. This punt was muffed by Charles Gordon, recovered into the end zone by Zach Bowman. And in the game, Gus Frerotte has thrown 3 interceptions. A tip by Briggs and the pick by Kevin Payne. Bears have a 14-point lead. Forte stopped at the line of scrimmage. Will bring up a 3rd and 2. Kevin Williams with a good tackle on the play.
This is where you need Forte to do all the dirty work to really chew up this clock right here to prevent Minnesota from having a lot of time to get back in this game. 14 points down.
17 carries, 50 yards for the rookie. Matt Forte leads the team in rushing and receiving. One of 4 backs in the league to do that. Earl Bennett in as a 3rd wide receiver. Number 85. Davis goes in motion. Orton throws short, and it's broken up. Intended for Greg Olsen. The safety, the rookie safety, Tyrell Johnson, who's played very well for the Vikings, breaking up the pass.
Looking the whole way. Olsen lined up in the backfield right there, and Tyrell Johnson, just at the last second as it hit the hands of Greg Olsen, he's able to punch it out.
That's a good stop for the Vikings. 3 and out. Gordon is back deep for the punt by Brad Maynard, his 3rd of the game. Good high kick. Fair catch wait for by Gordon, and he takes it at the 24-yard line. Still a lot of time remaining. The Vikings are down by 2 touchdowns, but their offense has put points on the board. Great rivalry of the Bears and the Vikings. Both teams 3-3. The Packers are 3-3, and they're playing Indianapolis at Green Bay later. 3 wide receivers for the Vikings. Andre Allison is the 3rd. Frerotte going short to the tight end, Basante Shanko. Shanko's 4th catch of the game, including 1 touchdown in the game. You see the points put up in this game. Last time Chicago scored.
Yeah, Vikes got to get moving here. They got to get moving here.
Last time Chicago put up 48 points in a game was 1986. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Takes the pass out of bounds up at the 37-yard line. And that's enough for a 1st down. Zach Bowman is back in the game for the Bears, and that's good news after being injured earlier.
Got the full metal jacket taped around the bicep.
It really wrapped him up. Taylor in the backfield, Allison a 3rd wide receiver. Frerotte working out of the shotgun. Inside handoff, Taylor. Nice run on 1st down. Gets up close to the 46, got 9 on the play. Brian Urlacher made the tackle. Vikings have rushed for 150 yards in the game.
One of them was a real big pop, as you know, by Adrian Peterson.
On second down, Frerotte throwing, and he threads it through to Bobby Wade. Still going and fighting his way down the Bears' 40-yard line. First down for the Vikings.
Well, this is a laser, and they can't feel real comfortable with these corners out on the field. He's just going to sit down right in the window of the zone between Hillenmeyer and Tremaine McBride. And then it's all third, fourth, and fifth effort to pick up an extra 5 or 6 yards.
Picked up 15, and the Bears, as we all know, have had trouble hanging on to fourth quarter leads this season. Chester Taylor in the backfield. 3 wide receivers on first down. The handoff to Taylor. And he gets 5, maybe a little more before he's thrown back. Israel Adonijah in on the tackle for Chicago. The Bears have 3 losses this season, and in all 3 of those games they had leads in the fourth quarter.
And they're just sitting in their cover 2 shell right now. They've got 7 guys deep in coverage. And that's why the draw, if Minnesota wants to take that draw and get 5 or 6 every time, it's going to be there.
Adrian Peterson back in. 2nd and 4. Frerotte puts it up. He's got a man to bat it away. He had Bernard Berrien open. Good effort by Tremaine McBride to dive and bat it away.
Well, and Gus just throws this late. The hole's going to be right here in between the corner and the safety. That ball needed to be unloaded right there. It comes out late. Gave McBride an opportunity to play catch up and get in and get a nice deflection.
Taylor back in the backfield for the Vikings. 3rd and a long 4. They have to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. 3 wide receivers. Everybody out. Tosses it to Taylor with a blocker. First down and a whole lot more down the 21-yard line. Chester Taylor, very valuable and I believe underrated back for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, he's patient, and what he does here is they anticipate. It's a real good play call. They anticipate the blitz, and it's Hunter Hillenmeyer who's going to be here. Watch Chester step up and pretend like he's going to block him, and then flash out. The last second on the screen, gets a nice block out there by Andre Allison, has him down in the red zone.
Taylor 6 catches, 48 yards. Everybody out on first down, and the pass through the hands of Bobby Wade. That should have been caught.
I think that's the presence of Kevin Payne back there, who is getting a reputation around the league as a big-time hitter. And there's no question he's that. He's going to be right here. Wade's going to get just inside of him, and this ball hits Bobby Wade right in the chest plate, and he drops it.
Bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. They're trying to save them for later. Hoping to put 7 on the board here. The rush is on, and down goes Frerotte. Kevin Payne coming from the outside. Got enough of a piece on Frerotte. First sack of the game for the Bears.
He's going to come from over here. They're going to bring the guys up inside, and Payne's the guy that comes unblocked. You see, Dvoracek comes to the outside, which forces McKinney to pick him up. And there's nobody out there to get Kevin Payne. The running back had to step up and get Lance Briggs.
That'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Vikings, who used their first timeout of the second half. They have to get to the 11-yard line for a first down. Vikings took the opening kickoff and marched in for a touchdown. That's their only lead of the game. They've rallied 4 times to tie, and each time the Bears regain the lead. Taylor in the backfield with Frerotte on 3rd and 16. And the pass batted away. Good job up front by the Bears. Adonijay and Adewale Agunlea putting on pressure up front.
Well, and Adonijay is really good at blocking down passes. He's got 4 or 5 this year. He's locked up on the line of scrimmage with 2 guys. And that's what you do. If you're not getting pressure and you're stuck on the line of scrimmage at a double team, you just read the quarterback. And when he goes to throw it, you make him throw it through the fence or throw it through the trees. And that time the tree got the best of the football.
Here's the big 4th down play. They have to get to the 21. Frerotte throws, and it is caught by Bobby Wade. He's out of bounds at the 8-yard line. First down, Vikings. Clutch play.
It's 2 coverage. You got a corner out wide in the flat. You got the safety deep. And watch Bobby Wade go catch this out of frame. When I say out of frame, it's you put a square around the receiver, and you'd like to throw it inside that square. That ball was outside the square, and he reached outside of it and plucked it.
They needed 16. They got 19. First and goal at the 8. With 3 wide receivers, they go short to Wade. He dives inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Bears trying to hold up despite injuries in this game, starting the game without 2 starting cornerbacks. They've had 3 interceptions.
These guys up front are starting to feel the no huddle right now.
Chester Taylor in the backfield on 2nd and goal. Frerotte throwing, and it is, was he out of bounds? Touchdown! They call touchdown Bernard Berrien. He was close to the sideline. Did he hold on? Did he have possession?
There's the question. I know he held on, but did he have possession before he stepped out of bounds, or was he still bobbling the football? A lot of confidence from Gus Frerotte and his receiver. There it is. Okay, left foot down, dragging the. Yeah, he never bobbled it. That's touchdown. That's a terrific job. Again, same thing I said about Bobby Wade. He went up out of frame and just captured that ball out of the air.
Now the Vikings with a big drive, a couple of big 4th down conversions. And now the extra point by Longwell, and the Vikings are 7 points away with 3 minutes to go. Wow. The Bears have suffered some really disheartening losses in 4th quarters. In Carolina, they were up 17-3. Carolina came back to win. Against Tampa Bay, they were up by 10, and they lost in overtime. Last week, with 11 seconds to go, they had the lead, and the Falcons won it on a field goal on the last play. So here, having had a 17-point lead, it's down to 7. The Bears getting the football. They've got to find a way to run out the clock.
You're going to get an onside kick here now with 3 minutes. You know, the Bears have just sat too. The last 10 points for Minnesota, they've just moved it right down the field, just picking on that cover 2 defense.
These 2 teams have put 89 points on the board, 48-41. Most points in a Bears-Vikings game since December of 1961, which was the first year the Vikings were in the league in the NFL. Second time these 2 teams had played each other that year. Longwell kicks it deep. And Wolf watches it bounce and will down it in the end zone. 3 minutes remaining. Vikings have 2 timeouts remaining. Call the World Series on Fox Wednesday and Thursday nights, the first 2 games.
Boy, a lot of trust in their defense here, kicking that baby deep. 2 timeouts left. Brad Childress is figuring defensively they're going to get a stop here.
Let's see what the Bears come up with. Orton puts it up to Greg Olsen, and he gets up just short of the first down mark. Got about 9.5 on the play. Cedric Griffin with a stop.
There's 1 timeout burned.
Under 3 minutes remaining.
Remember, they got 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
Brad Childress said this would be a fist fight. These two teams have really battled. 48-41. Leslie Frazier, the defensive coordinator, has got to come up with a big stop. Second and 1 for the Bears. Olsen, the tight end, 6 catches, 74 yards. Matt Forte, that's a first down, up to the 32.
There's timeout number 2 gone. That's why I worry about kicking it deep right at 3 minutes or just under 3 minutes.
No. That's it. The Vikings are out of timeouts. They will have the 2-minute warning that will stop the clock, but they've got to find a way to stop the Bears. The winner of this game will have at least a share of first place in the NFC North. Later on, Green Bay also at 3-3, playing home against Indianapolis. Coming up after our game, it's the Fox NFL Sunday postgame show presented by AT&T with exclusive BCS standings coming your way. As college football heats up. The toss to Forte. He slips. He tried to cut it back. Greenway was there.
Now it's just chew-up time.
Forte, 18 carries, 54 yards. Bears ran for only 8 yards in the first half. Kyle Orton with another strong game, 21 for 32, 283 yards, and 2 touchdown passes. Special teams have been a big factor for the Bears. Forte to the 35, and we come down to the 2-minute warning. The Bears need another first down. If they get it, they'll be able to run out the clock and come away with a win. They lead by 7. 2 minutes remaining. Bears with a 7-point lead and a 3rd and 6. If they get a first down, they'll be able to run out the clock. End around. Rashid Davis. He is chased down by Jared Allen. Great play by Allen. But the clock keeps running. So the Vikings will get the ball back.
With just a little over a minute we'll see what happens in terms of the return here. Good play by Jared Allen. Staying at home and then having enough athleticism. Rasheed Davis not easy to stay with in the open field. And likewise by Rasheed Davis, pretty heads-up move, staying in bounds.
Charles Gordon is deep, standing at his own 15 as the clock continues to run. Brad Maynard just waiting, and there's a timeout called by the Bears. 1:13 remaining. And the Bears, are they nervous on the sideline?
Well, they should be. Well, look at last week against Atlanta with the young corners. Marcus Hamilton out here, he's going to play the short route. He lets the deep route get behind him and does not defend the sideline. And there's 1 second left and they kick the field goal. And then last drive, same thing. Young corners, a little bit of a different play, but don't defend the sideline. And Bobby Wade gets a big first down, which allowed him to continue the drive and punch it into the end zone to get within 7.
Vikings have passed the ball for 292 yards net. Gus Frerotte 25 of 39, 298, 2 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. Maynard gets it away. Good high punt. Fair catch wait for by Gordon at the 25-yard line. The Vikings need 75 yards in 1:06. They have no timeouts remaining. So here it is. Bye week for both teams next week. First place on the line in the NFC North. Some young defensive backs in the lineup for the Bears. Zach Bowman in his first NFL game at left corner. Frerotte steps up and he got him. Tommy Harris. He just overpowered McKinney. Second sack of the game. No huddle for the Vikings. They are back to their 17. Frerotte under pressure. It's intercepted by Bowman. Zach Bowman, the rookie out of Nebraska, in his first NFL game. He scored a touchdown, and now he's got an interception.
Well, two huge plays. That's the biggest play of the year by far by Tommy Harris. I mean, that sack, you talk about a big sack at a big moment. That's what great players do. Tommy Harris right here, and he is just going to go right by Anthony Herrera, and then gets these guys back on their heels. Now Gus Frerotte, worried about pressure, steps up, rolls to the right, throws off the run off his back foot, and Bowman's there for the game-winning interception.
Fourth interception of the game for the Bears, and all by the defensive backs. Corey Graham, Trumaine McBride, Zach Bowman, and Kevin Payne. And for the Bears, it is a big win. Today's game produced by Mike Burks, directed by Rich Russo, Associate Director Tom Yohe, Broadcast Associate Eric Mandia, Technical Producer Frank Phillips, pregame show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports, Ed Gorin and David Hill. Our spotter in the booth, Gary Lynn. Our statistician in the booth, Emmett McGuire. Ty Yohe on the Fox box. Mark Sosner, computer stats. The Chicago Bears win the battle of the black and blue division 48-41 over the Vikings. We'll be right back.